We'd like to welcome you back to part 3 of our current event and weekly Bible study for December 2nd, 2012. Next report. Now, this is relating to all the things that I just talked about, particularly in part 2, where we talk about the term Zionist, particularly that particular aspect of this, okay? It's entitled, Alex Jones Cancels Speaking Tour 3 days After Exposure as Possible Stratfor Double Agent. Now, this is from February 16th, 2012. Okay, so understand, this is, much older, months ago, this article was actually released. And I saw this, and I didn't jump on it at the time because I wanted some more confirmation, which I just got. And that's why I'm actually tying all this together. On February 12, 2012, David Chase Taylor of Truther.org broke the story that Alex Jones was likely an intelligence tool for Stratfor, which is a private Zionist intelligence agency located in Austin, Texas. Now remember this term in this vernacular, when it talks about Zionist, this isn't just the innocent wanting to return to Israel. This is talking about the Illuminati Zionist definition that I went over. This is talking about Synagogue of Satan definition. So you have to understand, when you use that term Zionist, depends what context you're using it in. And again, if you're just starting here, you got to go back and listen to part 2 to understand what we're talking about here. So, going further. I did all that just to, prepare you for this part. So that's why I thought it was important. As detailed in the original article, Stratfor admits to being an intelligence gathering center, and therefore it stands to reason that Alex Jones and his affiliates of InfoWars and Prison Plate have likely been gathering intelligence, data, and info on patriotic Americans since 1996. Coincidentally, the exact same year that Stratfor was founded. Just 3 days after Taylor's article entitled, Is Alex Jones a Stratfor Double Agent, was published, Alex Jones abruptly canceled his nationwide speaking tour without a reason except that the collapse was so imminent, which didn't happen. On February 29th, 2012, the exact same day the story regarding Jones and Stratfor became the internet sensation, Alex Jones and InfoWars released a news story with the words Stratfor and Israel in the title of the story. The only problem with the InfoWars story was it was old news from November 13th, 2011, repackaged as new news for February 29th, 2012. The bogus InfoWars news article was a calculated move by Alex Jones and his InfoWars crew to muddy the waters in regards to information linking Jones to Stratfor. By creating a bogus news story with 2 key search terms in the headline, people searching for online for information regarding Jones and Stratfor would then be led astray. He did it on purpose. Although the pathetic attempt by Jones did not work, as evidenced by the 3,000 plus websites currently carrying the Jones-Stratfor story, the fact that Alex Jones and InfoWars published a bogus story shows they are in fact trying to block the story and make sure you know nothing about it. If the allegations linking Alex Jones to Stratfor were not true, why then would they try to cover it up? Now, there's links to these previous stories here if you want to go read them. A global intelligence company, Strategic Forecasting Inc., also known as Stratfor, was founded in 1996 in Austin, Texas, by George Friedman. Alex Jones' career was also founded in 1996, when he began his radio career with public access television cable TV program, but was quickly promoted and hired at KJFK in Austin, hosting a show titled The Final Edition. Now, if we go to Stratfor's website, Stratfor says, and this is off their own website, Stratfor delivers critical intelligence and perspective through, and then they've got 5 points. Point 5 reads, intelligence guidance, internal memos that guide Stratfor's staff in their intelligence gathering operations in the immediate days ahead. Stratfor's products, their listed, quote, products are strategic intelligence, tactical intelligence, custom intelligence, written and multimedia analysis, and corporate security analytics and geopolitics. George Friedman, who is the founder of Stratfor, was born in Budapest, Hungary, is an American political scientist and author. He is the founder, intelligence and chief intelligence officer, financial overseer, and CEO of Stratfor. His biography, Friedman, his childhood was shaped directly by international conflict. He was born in Hungary to Jewish Holocaust survivors. He's a Jew. Okay, now, he would be the kind of guy I would say, okay, he's a Illuminati Zionist, synagogue of Satan dude. Okay? There is a difference. I want to throw the all Jews in with that and just lump them all into that like so many people love to do. The founder of Stratfor, Dr. George Friedman, has admitted that he's a Zionist, and there's an article where he did that. You can click on here. Prior to joining the private sector, Friedman spent almost 20 years in academia, teaching political science at Dickinson College. During this time, he also regularly briefed commanders in the armed services as well as Office of Net Assessments, SHAPE Technical Center, U.S. Army War College, National Defense University, and the RAND Corporation, which is an incredibly wicked organization, on security and national defense matters. Wow, this sounds really eerily similar to the teaching I did on Chuck Missler, where he admits to doing very, very similar things, except even more actually black, what he was actually into, as far as his consulting with the government. And it's all stuff he's totally admitted to online. And all I did is document it. Just key in Missler in the keyword search box at contendingfortruth.com if you don't believe it. Now, Fred Burton is Stratfor's vice president for intelligence and is considered one of the world's foremost experts on security, terrorists, and terrorist organizations. Burton was a special agent with the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. Burton was also appointed by Washington to assist in the investigation of the assassination of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. He is so obviously he has a lot of ties in with, I would also say, this Illuminati Zionistic crowd. Okay? Obviously, birds of a feather flock together. He is the former Deputy Chief of Counterterrorism Division of the U.S. State Department's Diplomatic Security Service. Alex Jones and his team of reporters, writers, and producers routinely schedule, host, and quote, former and current intelligence officers such as Dr. Steve Pachenik, who's from the DoD, Department of Defense, Wayne Madison, who's from National Security, NSA, Lieutenant Colonel Schaefer, who is a senior fellow at the Center of Advanced Defense Studies, David McMichael, he's CIA, Ray McGovern, CIA. I mean, these are people that are from incredibly wicked, evil, governmental organizations. And Jones has them on all the time. And I'll be listening to him, and granted, most of the stuff he's reporting on is the truth. But he's got some people on there, and I'm like, why on God's green earth would this guy be interviewing this? And then some of the stuff that comes out of their mouths, it's like, what lies and bogus garbage propaganda. And supposedly, the organizations that Jones would supposedly expose, he's giving them a platform by having these people on. Also, James Wesley Rawls, Army Intelligence, just to name a few. I can't tell you how many times he's had people on. And I'm like, what is he doing? And how did he have this connection? These intelligence operatives provide Alex Jones listeners with unique insights into political, economic, and military developments. Like Stratfor, Alex Jones publicly list includes celebrities. Alex Jones' publicity list includes celebrities like Charlie Sheen, beyond reprobate devil, Willie Nelson, beyond reprobate devil, Jesse Ventura, beyond reprobate devil, Joe Rogan, a Satanist, self-admitted, as well as a number of other elite individuals within the government, intelligence, Hollywood, and the corporate world. How and why Jones is so deeply connected to the elite, despite being a conspiracy theorist, is a mystery and quite baffling unless he's indeed part of an intelligence network. The following is an excerpt from an article entitled McStrategy. And you can click on that if you want to read the whole article. How would you like to tap into an exclusive private intelligence service staffed by the CIA analysts who glean exclusive information from shadowy sources, cross-grid raw intel to detect relevant patterns, and alert you by email when the product requires your attention? Welcome to Stratfor, the brainchild of George Friedman, a Texas academic and sometime U.S. government consultant who became an intelligence entrepreneur and runs what the press routinely calls a private CIA, quote, out of an office building in downtown Austin. Austin is also where Alex Jones is based. Friedman's private CIA, for that matter, isn't much different than the official version. The comparisons of Stratfor with the CIA are not entirely off base. There's all kind of connections. If you read the full articles, you'll see them. By main force and superior salesmanship, George Friedman has managed to replicate the key features of the full intelligence establishment on private footing. And here's a link to the full article, as I give with everything. Because I just skimmed over a lot of stuff there. Now, here's the kicker. That was an article that came out in February. Okay? Now, today, or a couple days ago, another article comes out. It's entitled, Alex Jones hired CIA/Stratfor agent as a publishing editor-in-chief. Recently, it's been made known that InfoWars has hired an ex-Stratfor employee, Maroney, as their managing editor. This isn't like a rumor. This happened. This is what is being admitted to. For a news agency of their nature, this is certainly alarming. However, even more alarming is InfoWars' suppression of this information and censorship of loyal followers that post, talk, or in any way attempt to bring up this information within the InfoWars media enterprise, PrisonPlanet.com, Planet InfoWars, and Alex Jones radio show, etc. There's a video a lady put up, and she shows all the rigmarole she just went through to ask Jones on the forum about this Maroney. And they keep deleting her posts, and then blocking her off the forums without answering her question at all. Oh, that doesn't sound too suspicious. And he won't, it's like he's silent about it. Is it kind of like what he did before when this story broke about him being a double agent for Stratfor, and then he put two keyword terms, Israel and Stratfor, in one of the titles to one of his articles? And it had nothing to do with that story, but it was just to throw everybody off, so if they did a keyword search, they would come up with the wrong answer? No, I'm sure that the two aren't related at all. No. He doesn't have a pattern of it. I mean, obviously. This video, you can see this. She cusses once in the video, so I'll warn you about that. But she's showing all the screenshots of all this stuff she's trying to get on the forums. Blocked. Post deleted. Hey, Alex Jones, if you're an open book, why don't you answer the question? Due to Alex Jones' previous links to Stratfor, see previous report, we just read and you can click on that, his staff's connections to Stratfor, and Jones' own remarks, which he said, quote, once CIA, always CIA, end of quote, there are huge red flags here. He has also failed to address his Stratfor connections properly, and combined with the censorship of his followers regarding related information, one can only assume he is totally guilty of a cover-up regarding this matter. Here is Molly Maroney's most current resume available online, where she openly admits to interning at Stratfor 2009 to 2010 and is now the current managing editor, graphic designer of Alex Jones InfoWars magazine since July of 2012 of this year. Gets worse. I'll give you the links to those screenshots. For 7 months in 2010, Maroney was also employed by Parker Media, LLC, which is a media production corporation. Also employed at Parker Media is Richard Parker, founder of the firm. Interestingly, Richard Parker's name came up when WikiLeaks released documentation known as the Global Intelligence Files, wherein over 5 million emails from the Texas headquartered global intelligence company Stratfor were made public. These emails outlined how Stratfor, an intelligence publishing front for the Central Intelligence Agency, provided comprehensive intelligence for such corporations and U.S. government agencies such as Bhopal's Dow Chemical, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Marine Corps, and the U.S. Department of Intelligence Agency. Some of the most wicked organizations on the planet. And companies, governmental agencies. And they're providing comprehensive intelligence for these in a CIA fashion. There's no red flags there at all. Stratfor was involved in selling intelligence from informers, pay-off informants, money laundering schemes, and physiological methods facilitated, sourced, and often raw intelligence. On a list of recipients of those communications was Richard Parker, founder of the Parker Media, the former boss of Molly Maroney during her employment at Parker Media, LLC. And now Alex Jones has her as the head of her graphic design and the managing editor of his new magazine. You know, it doesn't sound too good to me. I'm sorry. Talk about a smoking gun. Richard Parker himself worked for Stratfor, as an executive editor between August 1999 and August 2002. It's like a big nest of cockroaches being exposed. From her dealings with Parker Media, Maroney became an intern for Stratfor. So she went right from Parker Media, which is totally tied to Stratfor. She was at the CIA Front Intelligence Collecting Corporation for 11 months, between October 2009 and August 2010. In fact, Maroney's employment at Parker Media and Stratfor intersected as she was working for Parker Media during the same time she was involved with Stratfor. Again, no red flags here. As Maroney was finishing her internship with Stratfor, she began working with the Texas Senate under Senator John Whitmire. Whitmire currently serves as the chairman of the Senate Criminal Justice Committee, member of the Senate Government Organization Committee and the Senate Finance Committee, where he's involved with finalizing funding appropriations for Texas state agencies and governmental programs. So there's another gigantic red flag. She's interlinked in here with the senator. Obviously, there are suspicions that Jones has been corrupted and is working for Stratfor. Jones also has questionable guests who provide misinformation, cloaked as intelligence, like, again, CFR member Steve Pachenik, David McMichael, Ray McGovern from the CIA, James Wesley Rawls of Army Intelligence. We gave a more complete list earlier. Jones' own privacy policy on his website, and there's a link to it here, Planet InfoWars states that 3.3.2, quote, we may use your personal identifying information when complying with an order from other government entities. Oh, that's nice. So if a government entity comes in and says, we want a list of all your subscribers, we may use your personal identifying information when complying with an order. You're not going to know about it, but, that's just the deal. Sorry about that. 3.3.4 off Jones's own website. We use cookies, log files, and third parties to create a profile of our users, and the information gathered is personally identified as belonging to you. End of quote. I thought he was all about anonymity and privacy, and he's doing all this slime bucket garbage on his website. 3.7. Any information you disclose to third parties on our website or other websites becomes public information. And you should exercise caution when deciding to disclose any personal information. Oh, that's nice. So, any information I disclose to you, to third parties on our website or other websites becomes public information. That's great. Thanks, Jones, for really looking out for me, because I can tell you really are. When a user visits InfoWars, Prison Planner InfoWars websites, they are infected with a tracking cookie that tracks the movement and gathers information about the user across the internet. And I'm looking at the actual tracking cookie. Somebody had done a thing where they had isolated it on a web browser. This information is very useful to Stratfor, having information about users that frequent the websites owned by Jones that can then be turned over to Stratfor for intelligence gathering purposes. This is extremely valuable to the CIA operation that is trying to access the temperament of the general public and make sure that they log and track the whereabouts of the patriot community that relies on Jones. This devil's doing the devil's bidding as far as I'm concerned. You go up to there right now. I'm going to go onto his site. I have a program that's free. You can get this program. Anybody can get it. Okay? It's called abine.com. Online privacy company. There's a free program you can download. I go into his site. I'm on there right now. And it says there's 3 blocked networks tracking you. Okay? They are Lotam, Quintcast, and Brilling. Can hardly say it. Okay? And then there's 5 companies tracking you off Alex Jones's website. They are Google Analytics. Google is wicked and evil as you could possibly be. Okay? I try not to have anything to do with Google. I've done studies on this. I've sent out email warnings on them. Also, what's the second company that's tracking you when you go on a site? Google AdSense. What's the third? Latamine. What's the fourth? ComScore Beacon. What's the fifth? Quintcast. So there's a total of 8 different tracking things going on his site when you try to log in. This free program blocks all of them for you automatically. Now, you also should have a good internet security system. I like Kaspersky Internet Suite. I'm not saying there's not other ones. I just have found that one's a good one. It's kind of comprehensive. You also need to have a good program that you can be doing cleaning your system on some type of regular basis, where it's cleaning cookies, it's cleaning these types of things out of your system. I like Advanced System Care number 6. You can look these programs up. They're not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and they are comprehensive. They do a lot of different functions at once. Okay? Advanced System Care number 6. Obviously, I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm just doing it so you can hopefully be a little more prepared in regard to all this. So, now, there's links here where you can get a full breakdown, video, and report on this, and you can explore this further, because I gave you kind of the Cliff Note version of this particular story. I'm going to segue into a totally different subject next. I know this is a short report, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now, because we're going to totally shift gears, and we're going to go into the whole 2012 end of the world stuff that we're going to be talking about next, and that will probably complete the study. So, God bless you, and we'll see you in, I guess it'll be part 4.